All right. You're gonna learn today.
What's up, YouTube? Alright, so today I'm going to change the brakes on my 2001 Dodge Ram B2500. It's time. You know, I just bought the van. I've been driving it a lot. Brakes are just starting to squeak a little bit, so it is time. Now, the brakes I'm going to put on are these, the Wagner Severe Duty brake pads. Now, these are, according to the box, specifically formulated for extreme heat, frequent stopping, and heavy loads. Now, these are the type of brakes that people normally put on if you intend on doing towing. If you got like something big, like an RV or something, these are the type of brakes that you want. They will not wear down or fade as much as standard brakes that are really just tested for regular use. This is if you're going to do a little bit more than regular use. Now, I'm putting these on here for two reasons. One, I live in New York. Stop and go traffic is a thing. And number two, because I also will be towing with this van. So, for that reason, I'm going with the severe duty. Now, there's nothing special in the box. Just a set of pads and a little grease. That's it. Alright, so now let me show you guys how to put these things on. Hold on. So right here and on top right here, these are both torque bits. These are T40s. The only other thing that you really need is a large screwdriver, which is going to be used to open up the brakes. You put them in there and you'll use it to spread them apart. Now, once you get them off, you need the bungee cord or just something to hold it up. Don't let the caliper hang on its own because you will damage the brake hoses. Do not let the caliper dangle on its own because you will damage the brake hoses. I just wanted to repeat that. So I have a bungee cord here that I'm going to use. You can use anything, a bucket, a stand, anything you would do. Just don't let this hang. Now, my brake spreader is at the other shop, so I'm going to have to use a C-clamp today in order to push the pistons back in. This is a double piston rotor. This is, of course, like I said, everything on this van is heavy duty. So that's it. Pretty simple, alright? I'll cut you guys back on when we get to the next step. Let me get these bolts out and let's get it done. Alright, YouTube, actually I was getting ahead of myself. Before you even take out these two bolts, the torque bits bolts, use the screwdriver to start pushing the piston back in. It makes it much easier to take it off. It'll hold better if you do it with the bolts on. You don't have to worry about the caliper jumping off. So all you got to do is just stick it in there and pull. Stick it in there. This is a double piston, so you just want to do it. See how it's starting to get loose? Stick it in there and pull. Okay, it's ready to come off. Alright, YouTube, let me get these bolts off and I'll cut you guys back on. Alright, YouTube, I took it off. I have it bungee corded up here. It was too much of a stretch over there. Now it's time to remove the pads. Do you guys see these pads? I think it was time to do it. Let's see what these pads look like, YouTube. Just slide them off right there. Hold on. There we go. So the pads were getting pretty worn. He's hard and brittle. And this one, go with the screwdriver. Here's the other one. See, it's already crumbling. It was definitely time. Look at these pads. It was definitely time to change them. The backing plate came off. It was definitely time to change them. Alright, YouTube, let me get the air hose. I'm going to blow this out, clean it all up, and then we're going to install the new pads. Okay, next thing, since they didn't give me any new of the slides, what we're gonna have to do, I'll use brake cleaner to clean these up and reuse them. You don't want to let these get all gummed up, because as you saw when it was installed, the brake pads slide on them, so you don't want them to get hung up like that. You want them to slide smoothly. So all right, let me get the, hold on, yeah, I can do it with one hand. It's just brake cleaner and a rag. Now the reason I didn't remove it to clean it, which you can do, but the reason I didn't do it, a lot of time these old clamps, when they're holding good, it's best to leave them alone, because sometimes if you take them off and you're trying to reuse them, they kind of lose their grip. They start moving, they lift up on you. They make it a pain when you're trying to put the new pads on. So if they're staying in place and I'm not changing them, I'll leave them there. All right, YouTube, let me get the new pads. We're gonna put them on. All right, YouTube, these are the new brake pads compared to the old brake pads. See the difference? The new ones versus the old. Now to put these on is very simple. You just have to get them in these little clips, these little slides, like that, and push it on like that, see? That's it. Now we just have to push the pistons back and drop it on there. Okay? Now you could put a little grease on it if you want. It won't hurt anything. Just a little bit, and it won't hurt anything. That grease that they give you here, you can put a little bit on it. It's not going to hurt anything. And so we're just going to push these down, and then we're going to put this on. All right, YouTube, I set you guys up. What I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to keep it in frame so you guys can see. But basically what I'm going to do, take an old brake pad. I'm going to do it this way. If I got this on, I'm going to take the C-clamp and put it on. Now if I, well, try to see if you can see this thing pushing down, because what you're trying to do is make room, since the new pads are so much more stout than the other ones. See it going down? See that side going down? Just like that, nice and easy. Lower this side, take it to the other side. Try to get this in here like that. See if I can get that on there. Tighten it up. See it going down? Now that should be good. Take these off. Take this off. See, nice and flat. And I'll take this loose. And I'll have it. Now, I should be able, hold on, so I'm trying to do this with one hand. Hold on, let me put it back on my harness. I'll cut you guys back on. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure these are pushed back. Make sure the sleeves are pushed back. You want to set it in the cradle and push it on. And oh, the top one got out of line. That's it. You're on. That's it. Take your bolts back. Get them started. Make sure you got them both started before you tighten them. And that is it, YouTube. That's it. Alright, YouTube, that's it. I'm just going to tighten up these bolts, put the wheels on, and jump over and do the other side. So, on that note, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.